Okay, this song came to my head today. All right, we gotta hold on. I thought of this song today, came to my head. This is a remix of this 80s song. Oh my God, I totally lost it all. It is the theme of the reading, I swear. Wow. Just right out of my head. I don't remember. Anyways, it's a remix of this album, now of this song back in the 80s. And the song is called True. Okay, the song is called True. And the remake, it just uses the beat. And it's about when two friends like meet or come back together. And it's like the greatest thing ever. This guy thinks it's the greatest thing ever by I don't know, DJ Dawn or something like that. PM Dawn, I think his name is, the artist name. Oh my gosh, it's raining right now. It's been raining all morning. And it's like, I don't know if somebody's getting that like nostalgia about you or something like that. I feel like that could be it. Like somebody from your past is like, woo-wee, look at that. I don't know, you're going to run into them. 69. This might be a dirty reading. Okay. Cancer, second house, Pluto. Ooh. Second house, that's Taurus. Pluto energy. Scorpio. Not quite sure what that says, sweetheart. This is English. I'm sorry. I don't know how to translate that. But welcome. Jesus Christ, there's 22 of you here? Oh, that's got to be spam. Okay. Pluto, Scorpio energy, supernatural, how we deal with our power. It's almost like you're going to get extremely powerful in the material world, which might not be somewhere you dwell. You know, you might not be somebody that's really in the physical world too much, but you might be having your guides tell you otherwise. Like, you need to be seen. That's what I feel. You need to be seen. And you need to let yourself, like your self-worth, be seen, because you're worth something. It's like your price tag is pretty high. You have a pretty high price tag. That's what I'm getting. Not that you're for sale or anything. That's not. Whoa, let's get out of that. Not for sale. But you have a high price tag. People have to pay a price to see you, to talk to you, to be around you. Or maybe that's how it's going to be in the future. People taking advantage of you. It's going to change. You feel like you have to be taken advantage of in order to be seen. And that could be changing. 3-3. What the fuck? 3 of Wands, 3 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles. 3 of Wands in reverse. Because like you're hesitant about doing something, which I get hesitant about this channel, like for sure, you know, because I have, you know, my little nest egg, and, you know, to invest in yourself, sometimes people will take that fucking last check to the bank with themselves and cash it, because they know that they're worth something. They know it's going to go somewhere. I read this cute little limerick yesterday that was like, do you think if a crackhead doesn't have money, they don't smoke crack that day? No, they make it happen. And then at the bottom it went, don't let a crackhead be better than you today or work harder than you today. And I was like, that fucking, it's true. It's 100% true. If they need it, they'll get it. And it doesn't matter what they do to get it. They will get that high. And when you think about your life, you think about what you're willing to do for things, think of like being in a crackhead mentality, I gotta bust it, I gotta make it, I gotta do it. If no one else is gonna do it, I have to do it. But not saying that if everybody else is doing it, then you don't have to do anything. But it's like, I don't know. Now I'm getting, oh my gosh, this part of The Office where Michael's with Jan, and Jan is trying to sell her candles. Oh my God, what is the candle name? Serenity Now or something like that? Serenity Now by Jan. Oh my God, the absolute opposite of what that fucking psycho is in that show. Anyways, and then Michael brings his friends over and he takes them into the garage and he's like, so, the candle industry is really getting up there. And I'm pretty sure it was Jim that was like, are you really going to try to sell us shares of Jan's company right now? And he was like, yeah, I am. And I know that it's dumb and I shouldn't be doing it. Fucking Jan. Jan just wants people's money to fucking make her candles and nobody wants them. So this would be like the opposite. Okay, I'm just getting that analogy of Michael asking everybody to partake in his girlfriend's company. Okay. Even though he knows it's garbage. Okay, but that's not the analogy. The analogy would be that somebody, I don't know if someone's gonna help you. I knew you were there. I don't know if somebody's gonna help you. And it's like whatever you decide to do, it's going to get you out of the cold. Maybe you're not going to have to spend, your last $500 on something. And now I was finishing up this movie last night, and then this show started playing. It has friggin' Can You Smell What the Rock Is Cooking in it? I forget what it's called. I think it's called Ballers. Yeah, Ballers. I think. Anyways, I don't really know what the heck the show is about, but all I can remember, I just watched it was just on in the background, and friggin' Dwayne The Rock Johnson, he was about to invest in his client. And his manager was like, what are you doing? And he's like, well, you took a chance with me, so I'm going to take a chance with him. And then the guy goes, well, you were a sure thing. And The Rock goes, no, I wasn't. And then I turned it off. It was like the pilot first episode, something like that. I fucking turned it off. I wanted to watch something else. It seemed like it might not have been the worst show in the world, but I wasn't looking for that. So, but obviously the analogy of somebody might invest in you. Maybe that's what this is. Maybe somebody's going to invest in you, which is the Taurus, because the Taurus could be something could possibly be a contract with your material wealth. Libra's not here, but just because Justice isn't here, it doesn't mean it's not being represented. Possibly through this change. Ooh, 4 of Pentacles with the 4 of Wands and the 4 of Cups. Shut your mouth, Whitney. I just do free readings on here. Okay, if you hang around, ask your question telepathically, I should be able to answer it. Okay, but I don't do actual, ask your question, I read it. If the energy wants to read it, it will. So you ask your question telepathically, my guides will pick it up. Okay. We have a 4-4-4 on the bottom of the deck. Okay. And this whole thing started with a 3-3. Okay. So, wow. I didn't even really notice how the fuck I just put these cards down. Look at this. God, I love a good story. Okay, so look at these. See these people hanging out? Okay, well, I just put this on top. Makes it seem like these people, these are their cups. They want you to hang out with them, but you don't want to hang out with them. You know what I mean? So then we move to the second one where somebody's like, good morning, Pamela. Somebody's like, I don't really know what to do, okay? Because they think it's got to be like a rip the Band-Aid off type of situation. And then what did I put on top of it? I put the 4 of Wands on top of it. The 3 of Wands with the 4 of Wands. It feels like somebody gets over their fear because maybe once they do something, like maybe they want to get away of a certain crowd, okay? But they all, like, look at this. Then we've got I put the 4 of Pentacles on top of the fucking 5 of Pentacles. Like, what the fuck? I didn't even realize what I did. So it's like you get out of the emergency energy and you get a hold of your finances again. Because it's like maybe that's what it is. Maybe you have secret enemies around that are trying to get you to invest in something. Use your money right now so then you don't have it later. Okay, that's a true enemy. Spend your money now because they know you're going to need it in a month or 2 months or a week, and they know you won't have it. So they get you to, okay, so be very careful of, like, anybody that wants you to go on a trip or spend a lot of money, go to the casino, go on a shopping spree. Just stay away from it. Even if you have this little nest egg and you're like, oh my God, I haven't spent it for so long and it's stupid because I'm saving it for this, but it's never going to get there. So I might as well go spend half of it. Don't. Okay, if this resonates, don't. That's what they want you to do. And by they, I mean bad people. Okay, which is maybe why Pluto's here. Pluto's going to help shift that energy. Get you away from the bad and into the good, which is why the Chariot's here. Get in your fucking car and drive in your own direction. Don't follow the crowd. Just because the crowd goes west, go east. You know what I mean? Like, if they go south, go north. Like, don't just follow them because then there's people to hang around with. That doesn't seem like what this person wants to do. And that's the true victory. Oh my gosh, look at this too. So see how the 3 of Wands is looking at those 3 boats in the water? Okay, I almost feel like now those 3 boats are these 3 people. It's like maybe they thought they had to make a choice with people, you know, and possibly each one of those people wasn't even going to the same spot. They're all going to different spots. So this person is, you know, possibly on the road with 3 different people that are about to go in 3 different directions. And none of those directions are the direction that this person wants to go in. That's why he's not taking anything. Because it doesn't, and none of it sounds right. Okay? I had this dream once. And this was when I was living in Calgary. And Yellow Wolf appeared in my dreams. And I was just about to go and do a meet and greet with him. We had money, my sister and I had money saved up. I had just busted my ass on this 3-month contract, and I made, I don't know, I made quite a lot of money, but I was able to put away like almost 10 grand just in that 3 months of how much I made. And so we were going to go and spend, I don't know, like 4 grand and just go fucking chill with Yellow Wolf for the afternoon. He was doing this festival, and there was all these tickets still left to just hang out with him for the day. And I was like, fuck it, I love that, man. Like, I'll go hang out with anybody that interests me at this point in time, okay? And but we didn't do it. I didn't have a valid passport, which you can still, I mean, there's places in the city that you can go and get a passport within 24 hours. So again, I even had the opportunity to go and just do my passport. And I was almost booking the tickets. Like I had the tickets on my phone because we were going to drive. They were just, he was doing it in Spokane. And Spokane is just below where, Alberta is. So actually it wasn't even going to be that far. It was like a 10-hour car ride. We weren't even going to drive. We didn't give a fuck, whatever. Doesn't matter. And something stopped me. And I'm getting goosebumps all over my body. And I was like, something doesn't feel right. And my sister didn't give a fuck. She wasn't even working at the time. She's like, what? She didn't care. And I was like, something is like, it wants me to spend this money and do this. Oh yeah. So the dream. Okay. So then as I cancel the tickets, I'm about to put them on my card. I cancel the tickets. That night I have a dream. Yellow Wolf's in it. We were, again, at this weird meet and greet. And we were talking to him, and we both got in buses. He got in one bus, I got in another bus. And he said to me, if you can keep up with my bus, you can come to wherever it was he was going. I don't know where the fuck he was going. But I don't know if you've ever driven through mountains, but for some reason, all of a sudden, our buses, like I was driving a school bus, okay? Totally fucking weird. And he was in his tour bus, but he wasn't driving. Somebody else was. And within minutes, I lost the bus. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, okay, like we're not going to Spokane. Like there was something that was just telling me to go again to spend the money. And I believe the next week, if not 2 weeks, I mean, something within the month, right? Definitely in 2 weeks, we ended up planning and leaving Alberta and moving back to Ontario. And it was not planned. It was so sporadic. It was so on a whim. We were done with fucking Calgary energy. We couldn't deal with it anymore. We needed to switch apartments regardless. And the other apartment was here back home. So we took it and drove across the country. And thank God I had that 10 grand because I had to give my landlord as soon as we got here, like fucking $4,000, obviously for the place. It took well over $500 just in gas to get here, plus all the food. And it was like, it was $1,000 just to travel. So then by the end of everything I had, I think about $5,000 left. Then I had to find a job, right? So I'm like, oh my God. So then you have to find a job. And thank gosh, I ended up finding a job. I passed in a resume. Some chick got fired like 2 days later that was his full-time person. And he called me and I got the job. Like when it's meant to be, it will just happen. And you can disregard 100 fucking offers and 100 invitations to do anything that you want, whatever these people want to do. But if you follow what you want to do, you follow your heart, and you get that thing in the back of your throat that's like, I can't do this. Like, I feel like I want to do this because I'm bored and there's nothing else to do and I've got this money and why not? But then it's like, that's the fucking trick. That's the trick, is that you do have the money. Okay, you've got the magician's bag of tricks, which means you can probably do just about anything you fucking want. Okay, but just because you can doesn't mean you will. Okay, so then we go to the King of Swords. Okay, so logically, you have to work your way through this illusion. Okay, which possibly is why the Chariot's here, to drive you through some type of illusion that possibly wants you to spend money on something to fuck you over. And it looks like a good deal. It looks like, you've worked hard for your money. You've worked hard for everything that you've done. So why not get a reward? Everybody always wants a reward for their hard work. But I mean, living, breathing, taking yourself out for dinner, those are all rewards. Being able to pay your fucking bills at the end of the month, a reward, right? Those things are rewards. I think sometimes we get mixed up with what we feel we deserve because of how hard we worked, but we had to work that hard anyways. And the reward is the paycheck. The reward is you get the house. The reward is the life that you get. Where is this other reward? I feel like people feel like they deserve something for doing it when, like back in the day, we just used to do things. Nobody asked for anything. It was, you did it, that's it. New Brunswick! What up, Angel? Hello, everybody. Lots of new faces up in the Hizza today. Hello. Welcome, everybody. Send your pellet. What was I going to say? Pellegrigio? Send your telepathic questions into me. I would love to answer your questions. Are we going to talk about anything else regarding this reading? I keep looking at that 69. There's something with this Cancer energy. Page of Wands. Like, I do feel like there is possibly something that's kind of like hidden in the horizon. You know, like the devil likes to taunt us right before we level up. Just to prove, like, do you deserve to level up or do you not? Are you still going to go fucking play with the kids, or are you going to fucking put your adult pants on, act like a big boy, act like a big girl, you know? Are you going to be a little bitch? Which, the Page of Wands isn't some little bitch, okay? The Page of Wands is about to fucking tear everybody a new asshole with their fucking brand new idea. 6 of Wands. That's what the fucking Page of Wands is about to do. Page of Wands is about to get victorious of a bitch. Because they finally have their fucking money back, because they're not listening to these friends anymore that ain't giving them a place to live anyway. So why are you listening to them? Why are you even trying? I don't know. Maybe you feel like there's only a certain amount of people around you, so that's the energy that you get. And like, no. I went and danced around in a cemetery today in the rain. Look how curly my hair is. I just realized, I'm like, God damn, that's a lot of curl. Oh, that's what happens when you dance around in a cemetery in the rain. Apparently my curly hair comes back. All right, are we going to talk about anything else? 8 of Wands. Something is in the fucking air, okay? And this Page of Wands, you know, screw these friends. I don't like them. This 3 of Cups, I don't like them. Because you didn't choose any of them anyways. And from the looks of it, they were all a test. Maybe you just had 3 people kind of come and go in your life that had offers for you or something, but you didn't take it. Because it wasn't for you. Now I'm getting the Witches of Eastwick. You know, like, look at those 3 little assholes, okay? And then the dude, there's Jack Nicholson, you know? Like, do you really want to hang out with these bitches or do you not? And I feel like this person doesn't want to. That's not what they're into. I didn't even finish that movie. I tried to watch it the other day because I'm like, hey, I'm a witch. I should, like, you know, watch the witch movies and, you know, try to play along. And I got maybe 45 minutes into it, I think. And then I turned it off. I watched The Craft again last night, though. That's my go-to witch movie. I actually learned a lot last night from it again. I always pick up little different it's hard for psychics to pick up analogies because we're the ones with the fucking cards in our hand. So we have to see messages other places. So I'll get messages through movies. I'll get messages a lot through movies, really. Spirit talks to me a lot through movies and through songs. So listen to songs, listen to lyrics, you know, see what Spirit's trying to tell you. Okay? Because oh my God, as I got the fucking devil on the bottom of the deck just staring at me right now, okay? I feel like whoever these 3 of Cups are, they're connected to the devil. They're connected to something you don't want to do. I mean, I can't stress that enough. This person does not want to do it. And then Page of Swords in reverse, it's a lie. Whether or not these bitches are telling the truth, that's not that doesn't matter. Really, if this man gets with any one of these women, he's gonna have to fucking work his ass off till the day he dies, and they might still steal from him. Oh God. Nothing like a good divorce and a good fucking settlement to, you know, give somebody a new life. Like, be very careful. Of what's out there, honestly. Like, I almost want to say, I didn't really understand the whole prenuptial agreement thing until I realized, like, you know, there's a reason why those are out there, and it's not to say that you don't trust somebody, but at the same time, it's like, you do have to trust yourself. And what's wrong with a prenup? I mean, what's wrong with writing down who gets what? I mean, sometimes people act like fucking total idiots as soon as they break up. And they needed the prenup because now all of a sudden fucking one won't speak and the other one will only talk through their lawyer. You know, like, and then both parties become 16 years old again. And it's like, oh, but you said you didn't want the prenup because that made us look bad. Well, sure as fuck could have caused you less headaches in the fucking future. Okay, so I don't know. If you want to go the dirty way with a woman you don't trust, or a dirty way with a man you don't trust, then make sure you fucking protect yourself. But this is somebody protecting themselves, 2 of Cups, in a relationship. So maybe something went really bad, you know, really not the way that somebody would have ever wanted it to go again, and now they're hesitant about ever doing it again. But usually the past doesn't repeat itself. If you've learned from the past, then the past isn't going to do what the past did in the past, because you're a different person, which means you're not going to make the same decisions as you did when you were a younger person. Because remember, the past represents you at a younger person, in a younger body, in a younger time, right? Try to give yourself a little bit of slack with the shit that you did in the past, right? It was younger you. You didn't know any better. Did you hear that? Good. Because that's spirit. I'm going to have to shut this window now because the rain has passed and the sticky, icky weather's coming with it now. And the fucking sun is out, but the sky is still gray as fuck. So, what's going to happen out there today? Woo! Did you get everything you need? I'm still live. I just dropped a dice and I lost it. Oh, there it is. Oh, God, it's getting hot. Oh, shit. Oh. I feel like sometimes I'm like some type of vampire that doesn't like the sun. Oh, sticky. I don't even care. Okay. This might be the last message. I don't know. You can always book a personal reading there, Angel 101, and we can talk about that. My email is in the description box below. All right, here we go. 2939. Winter. Potion. Fruit. Honestly, right away, I was like, with both of these, I feel like somebody was in hibernation and now they're like activating, you know, they're invigorated by something, they're empowered by something. Allow yourself to be empowered by something bigger than you, you know, like lightning, rain, I don't know, a fish, anything, okay? Some badass fucking, you know, Let something empower you. After a long period of reflection, self-care, achievement. So somebody really knows how to recharge themselves. Okay. And Spirit is like, make sure you really do that. Take time for yourself, right? Turn your phone off. Like, I was doing so much work the other day on my phone, and I got a headache, like physically. Like, I had to turn the phone off and take fucking Tylenol. And I'm like, oh my God, I was just doing so many videos. I'm like, fuck, like I need to stop, like my eyes, my head, I started getting migraine. Everything started hurting, right? Because like I'll work and work and work and work. And like, especially when you're dealing with computers and on your phone and shit, you got to be careful because it goes right into your eyes. Okay. So somebody is definitely like, make sure you throw some self-care in there and allow the energy to, prospire, like allow it to do what it needs to do as it grows, right? And there's a huge achievement coming. But to keep that empowerment is to give yourself a lot of self-care and reflect on the things that you're doing. Even if somebody once suggested that I get a journal and I start journaling things, right? Especially like dreams that I have and stuff, and of what I'm doing, so that I don't forget. Because you always think, well, I'll remember that. That was the greatest. I'll remember that. And like, you don't, right? So maybe, I don't know, maybe journal, write shit down, keep your mind, because it's mind, body, soul. Literally, soul, mind, body. No, body, mind, soul, right? Just because your body's okay doesn't mean that your mind's okay. And just because your mind's okay doesn't mean that your soul's okay, doesn't mean that your body's okay, right? All three have to be aligned. You need to be listening to yourself and controlling your mind, having the control over yourself, right? And over your body, because your mind controls your body, but your soul controls it all, right? So be aware of that. Did you just see that card fly out when I said that? Broom, energy clearing. This is what I'm talking about. You got to make sure you clear your temple. Okay. And a lot of times you can do that like in the shower, have energizing, clearing crystals around you. Just hold them with the water coming down on you. It cleanses it cleanses you. Keep yourself cleansed. Like, we took the car out today and it started raining, and I knew car needed a rain cleanse. It needed the water. It needed to be driven around and have a bath in nature's greatest shower, the rain. I needed to get into the rain as a shower, right? Just to clear my body, clear my mind, clear everything, right? It feels good. It's invigorating. It's empowering to get out and into something, into nature, into something bigger than you. Alter, gratitude, releasing burdens. Release that shit, because when you're out in nature, you forgive yourself. You forgive other people, right? You make better choices. It's clarity. When you're in walls, when you're in concrete, it's hard to make good choices. It's hard for sometimes even to do these readings, right? Because it's like concrete jungle. There's not a lot of channeling. There's not a lot of energy that I can pick up that's good energy. It's low vibration. It's heavy energy. It's suffocating energy, right? I had to get above that energy to feel, to get my channel, right? That's how we got to do it. You got to rise above the negativity, which could be those three people, some type of group of people or crowd of people, right? That are literally weighing you down. Okay. So release your burdens, get a tarot reading, right? Ask your questions, get your affirmations, see if you're on the right path, see where it is you're going. Persistence and self-awareness. Be aware of yourself, your surroundings, right? When you're feeling off, when you shouldn't do something, when you need to go home. Sometimes we press it so much, we overwork ourselves, right? Work. And it's like, just because we have downtime for a reason. We need to enjoy that. Even if it's just to sit and watch a movie, chill yourself out, ground yourself out, Peace out, Pammy. All right. Community cooperation with sweetness. Honestly, it takes a whole colony to build that hive, not just one person. I get that on my Instagram a lot. People saying, you need to learn how to do things on your own. You need to be a big girl. You know, you're an adult. Adults do things on their own. And it's very abusive. Like, that is very abusive. It's a very abusive standpoint to say that people deserve to do things on their own. Because honestly, when the world needs you to do things on your own and toughen up and to be the big shot, you will. But we are not created alone. We are not put here alone. So why would we ever think or believe that we need to do things alone? We do things alone to gain independence, okay, so that we can survive on our own. We are born into families so then we have support. If they don't want to support you, then they shouldn't have fucking had you. They shouldn't have put you here. And if they still want to say that you're the problem or you need to grow up or you need to this or you need to that, that is them being ignorant to the things that they needed to do and they wouldn't do. And I mean, like, how many people do you really know that they fucked up and are actually apologetic about it? Probably very little. Most people do not care if they hurt you. They do not care if they hurt their families. They don't care. They're out for themselves. But somebody who is genuinely apologetic about what they did or trying to change in order to become a better person, right? That's where you need to stay self-aware and realize that there are people that can help you. You don't have to do everything on your own. Like I said, we are put here alone. We're given to families. Why would we ever feel like we are here alone? Because we're not. But you kind of got to, like, I don't know, get over your pride and ego before you can really get there, right? There's roots, healthy patterns, early growth, right? There's your healthy patterns. Learn where to anticipate and incorporate healthy patterns in your life so then you can sustain the path that you really truly want to be on. There's buds, new beginning and expansion. So if you're choosing to expand or you're wanting to grow, okay, then just know, like, I was watching somebody do an interview and honestly, their phone was going off the whole time. He just kept hitting his phone and it just kept going off and going off and going off. And at the time they were, starting a huge corporation. And I thought to myself, like, oh my gosh, there are some people out there whose phones are going off all day long. Okay. And that's where you really sometimes have to put it down, or at least give your fucking self a couple hours and put it down. I know some people are hard. Like, it is hard for me to take a day off from doing this. It is hard for me to not break this video down and make 15 other videos and put them up. It is hard for me to do that because it is hard for me not to do that. Like, it is really hard. I have to find other things to do because if I don't, I won't stop YouTubing. And that's not going through videos. That's doing my shit. I could fucking care less what anybody else is doing. In a sense of that, right? Like, I won't stop working physically. I have to put night mode on my phone. I have to put the dim on the lowest dim. Sometimes I'm working for so long that I actually have to put the phone on an angle and look away while I'm doing things because I can't even take the smallest little bit of glare and I'm still working on my phone. It's insane. Okay. So again, healthy patterns, people. Be healthier than me sometimes. Okay. Give yourself time off. Like, turn your fucking ringer off. Answer when you can answer. Do what you can do when you can do it. And then something I do that too sometimes, where it's like, I won't look at my email at 7 a.m. I will sometimes look at my email at like 7 p.m. And then, email, like I had to email somebody back yesterday and I had left it all day. And then finally it was like 8:30. I was sitting down. I'm pretty sure I was watching The Craft and I'm like, oh, fuck it. Okay. I'll do my booking emails now. And I did them at like 8:00 at night. And surprisingly, everybody was awake. So I was like, good timing on doing that. But you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's just, doesn't matter what time you need to do it. If you need to take the day off, just because people work 9 to 5 doesn't mean you have to choose those hours, right? You can choose to sleep in until 9 o'clock, have a shower at 10 o'clock, go to the office at 11 o'clock. Like, you can change your hours. You can change, if you can, whatever it is if you're in charge of it, then yeah, you can most likely change your hours. Adjust your schedule every now and then, just so then you're giving yourself some peace of mind. You're giving yourself some time off. You're allowing yourself to just breathe. Because I know when people start businesses, I mean, they'll do that all day, all night, just to get it going. They will be up until 5 a.m. painting, like they will be doing whatever they need to do to get that shit on the road, right? Because they want it done. But always remember to sleep. Somebody really needs to take some rest. And then as you rest, you'll want to do more things because you took your time. Maybe some of your projects don't have to come out so quickly. You can, oh man, because I was doing so much work yesterday, I ended up putting up what I would put up in a morning scattered throughout the day. And I was much happier doing it that way. I was like, wow, that was really nice to just do each small edit throughout the day. So that, because it is a lot on my eyes and it is a lot of photo editing and fucking, oh my God, I had to have that brightness at the fucking, tip of the T to see. And it's very strenuous, it's very strenuous. So spreading it out through the day and making your projects smaller and increasing your activities that you do, for your excitement, then just try and do that. I mean, it's the summer and we only get these couple months and goes to shitty fucking, I love the fall. That's where I come alive. This hot weather, I can't really, I don't really do, but when I'm out there, do it, just love yourself. Do what you can, and if you can't, you can't. But if you can, do it. Do it all the way. Do it good. Okay, I'm going to do possibly one last reading, 4203. That seems to be the time. I hope everyone's having a wonderful Thursday. One more day. And then the weekend. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we have love and self-indulgence. I feel like there's two people here. I feel like some person is self-indulged and some person is in the love, but this could be somebody that's watching you in your energy and very much appreciating it. Okay. Okay, I was a little bit like, what the fuck is going on with this person? Okay, and now mask came out, so that explains a lot. Okay, so collective, somebody is dealing with somebody who is watching you in some way, just keeping an eye on, watching your shit, watching your social media, something like that, okay? And they're kind of turning inward. Whatever it is that you're doing, it's making them do their own introspection, I don't know, maybe you're teaching somebody how to heal their wounds, how to learn that their relationships in their life reflect their wounds and reflect them, your relationships reflect who you are. So I feel like maybe someone's cleaning house with some people around them, trying to follow suit. There's a lot of influencers out there, a lot of people that are just trying to give people advice and just, I did it this way, don't do it this way. If you really feel like you want to do it this way, do it. But I'm telling you, it crashed and burned for me, right? Just people out there that are just trying to help people, get advice, because not all of us have families that we can just call and ask what to do. Some of us are alone, we don't have people around us. So we need help. Therefore, how do we get help if we don't seek it? So maybe you're showing somebody how to seek help, how to get over their ego, their pride, those men that I was with my father this one time grocery shopping, those carts that you have to put the money in order to get them? Well, my father didn't bring a quarter that day. And so, I don't know, I was like 16 years old or something like that. He grabbed me from school, so I didn't even have no money on me, nothing. And he made me walk around the grocery store until I found an old lady to give me a quarter so I could get the cart, while he just stood there and watched. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I mean, how much of a child are you? Like how much pride do you have? Like, you can't go up to the manager, go up to somebody in the shop, in the grocery store, like, because actually, you know what I found out too, is that legally they cannot charge you. If you don't have a quarter, if you don't have $1, if you don't have a toonie for those carts, all you have to do is go up to a cart person. Technically, they have to give you one free of charge. Okay, I did not know that. So at the same time, I'm like, he let his ego and his daughter walk around begging for something because his ego was too full of pride to go and get a fucking quarter himself. So I like that story's coming to me now. And I mean, it's not something that I think about. So I don't know why the fuck's coming up, but clearly it's a part of this reading or whatever. Okay, so maybe it's just like somebody doesn't want to lead with that foot anymore of, I can't ask somebody for help, or I can't ask for a quarter, or I can't ask for directions. My pride tells me that I'm supposed to find it on my own, and my pride. And it's like, your pride just got us lost and we ran out of gas. So you want to keep going with your pride, or maybe the fact that you don't know anything, like you don't know everything and you don't have all the answers. So why are you acting like you should? And then when you're around a narcissist, they will pretty much just tell you any answer that they think that they can tell you that you'll believe. And they won't admit that they don't know anything. They won't admit they don't know the right answer because they're a narcissist. Of course, they're going to know the answer. They're just going to lie about it. Okay? They're going to fool you or trick you in some way. Right? So maybe you knock somebody off their high horse, like a high horse. Okay? Hammer, sabotage, rebuilding, working on it, persistence. Like, somebody really definitely might have been like a little bit of a fucking asshole. Okay, and there's not today, boundaries, still angry with twin flames. So it's almost as if whoever this person is that you're showing, or that's watching you, okay, is kind of a reflection of you, in a sense where I think you are a lot alike. You're here to teach each other things. Like, not only do you teach them, but they will teach you. Okay? It's a two-way street here. Okay? So whoever this person is that's not true, like, they're hiding. They're not showing their true colors right now. They're pretending. Okay? I don't know why they're pretending. I don't know why they're choosing to hide their feelings, but it's given them, I mean, by hiding their feelings, it's allowed them to understand their feelings because they did swallow it and they didn't say it. So they swallowed their words and dissected them. You know what I mean? Digested them. Okay? They digested their words. And they, processed it all, and sometimes we want to say things, right, to get our voice heard, when this person, whatever it was they were going to say, was kind of fucked up. And I'm really glad that they chose not to say it to you, because I think it might have really affected you. So somebody just held their tongue with you, and it's probably the best decision they ever fucking did. Because if they had said it, they would have regretted it forever. It was something that they needed. Sometimes, like, we take things out on other people that we shouldn't. Like, somebody's in our veins, they're in our system, they're in our, they're in our mind, and we take shit out on other people thinking that that's the energy that's affecting us, when really it's somebody else or something else. But we can't deal with that other thing, so we take it out on other people, right? There are people that do that, and maybe this person, was going to take something out on you, and it didn't have nothing to do with you. Maybe somebody filled their head up with bullshit, blaming you for something, and they fucking put their big boy pants on and decided to take the fucking blame themselves and stop blaming somebody else. Because, you know, it's always so easy to blame somebody else that's not in the room. Blame somebody else from the past. Blame somebody else that's not around, right? Blame somebody else over the phone, right? But people rarely will look somebody in the face and blame them for something that they actually did. Right? Like, you can blame people for the shit that you did all day, but like the second that you start taking responsibility for the things that you did in a relationship, like your relationships change. Because to always make excuses and to blame it on everybody else shows people that you're not ready to have a relationship, because you're not even really ready to talk or speak the truth. The second you stand up for yourself, you love yourself, you get into relationships where you feel comfortable. And if you feel comfortable, then you can speak. And if you can speak, then why would there be fights in your relationship? Why would anything happen? You can both talk yourselves through a situation without, you know, listening to some fucking bird on a wire speak some shit, and then all of a sudden you're attacking your spouse because they're talking shit. Like, people don't really notice how rough energy works and like how nasty energy works. It follows people around, follows you around, then you end up attacking other people with it. And like, if you don't know how to clear your temple and keep yourself clear and sane, then you will take a lot of shit out on other people that you do not mean to do, because you don't know the difference of taking it out on yourself, okay, or taking it out on the real fucking person, right? The real culprit. So, whoever is behind this mask, okay, they are like wanting to come back, and they're going to take their mask off. Obviously, they're ready to tell the truth. And they might have been fucking angry with you at some point. But anger is usually just something that, you know, it's a situation that hasn't been processed yet. You know, it's something that it's you know, it's a situation that needs closure still. Right? There's resentment hanging out. Once the resentment gets gone because you swallow what it is that you did wrong, and possibly realize that not everybody's perfect and you've made your own mistakes that led to this problem, possibly, right? Then it's a lot easier to look people in the eye that you fucked over, because then you can be like, listen, I know what I did, like, and I'm sorry. Like, what do you want me to do? I can't change back time. I can't change what I did, but I can tell you that I won't do it again. And if I do it again, it's an accident. And, you know, if you want to run away, then run away. If you want to actually talk about it, then talk about it. People aren't perfect. And I think that sometimes by thinking that they are perfect, or thinking that there is this fucking perfectly happy ever after that's going to happen, is a fucking fairy tale. Fairy tales don't exist. Relationships are hard, and they take a lot of work and a lot of sacrifice and a lot of truth. You want to be full of shit, your relationships are going to be very hard because you're full of shit. If you're honest, your relationships might be quite easy because there's honesty. Where there's honesty, there's always a will to make things work. Okay, so this card was sticking up. There's addiction, okay, with acts. So this person, whoever this person is, they were codependent. Okay, they relied on somebody all the time or something to help control them. They don't rely on anything anymore. They've stopped that. So now they can see how they were possessed by something, thinking that they need to then basically possess you. Some people think relationships are a possession. You know, I own you, you're mine, you married me, you know, you belong to me, you got to do everything for me. And it's kind of fucked up. You know, it's kind of fucked up how relationships turn out. And sometimes they can be a very blissful journey, and sometimes they can be a fucking walk through hell. It's the choices that we make. 5500. I like it. And you know what? I'm still pretty cool. So, because I don't have any lights on in my room right now, keeping it nice and cool, other than the fish tank. Fish tank's always on. Well, in the daytime. So it's giving me a little ray of light. And it looks like it's going to rain again. Thank God. Let's do the ruins. I want to see what the ruin stone crystals are. Okay. Right away, we have the wealth, ruin, stability, ruin, harvest, ruin. And then the new life ruin, the earth god. Is that it? Yeah. That's it. I'm still learning my ruins, you know what I mean? There's a fucking lot of them. Okay, so I see a grounding of something grounding, wealth grounding, stability grounding. With the sun. Okay, so somebody's pentacle is going to grow. There's a harvest that's starting. And it is going to be a freaking fruitful harvest indeed. Of course, now I get hot. As soon as I start the last reading. Okay. Soon as I start the last reading, my fucking everything gets so hot. Ooh, all right, take a resonance, leave the rest behind. Queen of Swords, Knight of Cups, Ace of Wands. Woo-wee. Nine of Wands. You're gonna protect that shit. Okay, yeah, there's definitely something coming in. Wow. Okay. So the way that I see this is this Queen of Swords, okay, she's basically going to do everything that she can do, okay, to protect this harvest. Okay? See him, how he's protecting. He's that little walkway, and then you got the building in the back. He's protecting the only way in. Okay? And this action of cups would be the Knight of Cups, which would be the action to love something enough to keep it secure. Okay, because we end up with the Five of Pentacles in reverse at the end, because this harvest is going to get somebody out of poverty, or possibly out of a shelter, or out of a bad living situation, okay, where there's a lack thereof. Okay, but you have to protect this harvest. Okay, there's the Devil in reverse. So at the same time of protecting the harvest, you can't also trap it. You have to allow it to grow, right? So you almost have to ignite spirit around it it's almost, you have to have the faith that nothing's going to happen to it while you're protecting it, because you love it so much. It's just straight logic at this point too, on how, you have to keep it watered, right? You have to make sure there's enough sun, right? Which the sun is there. The abundance is there. The sun came in here twice. So you've got the sunlight to grow it. Okay, I don't see any water, but doesn't mean, oh, actually there is cups. There's the action of cups, how much you love it. Okay, how much you love it says that you're willing to take care of it. Okay, so if you did have crops, or you do have crops, and you're out there every day, you're watching, you're making sure no one's fucking around, right? Like, oh, there's The Office again when Dwight's talking about his beet farm, and he goes, teenagers use it for sex. Okay, be out there at night, check your fucking crops. I've had sex in a cornfield before. Okay, I'm just saying, and no, it was not my cornfield. Okay, and there is the King of Swords, Queen of Swords, King of Swords. Logic, baby. You need that information. Okay, you need a lot of information on how to outsmart this. You know, keep your. It's really there is a lot of information, obviously, that you can gather in order to keep this Ace of Wands growing. Okay, and then there's the Page of Pentacles. So there's the seed. I mean, there could be multiple ones that end up branching off, right? But you got to work hard. Okay, you got to be out there. You got to be planting. There's things that you have to do in order to get this. There's the Six of Swords, moving forward. So then you can move forward in something. 10 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, and Death, Scorpio energy. There is a transformation here, big time, with somebody's money or somebody's finances. Okay, that's a pretty good looking fucking crop, and then there's still more growing. Okay, so whatever it is, I mean, invoke power, like do it, invoke protection, right? Do it. I mean, how can you move forward if you don't believe in magic? If you don't believe that there are things out there that can protect you, can help you? Negative energies or negative Nancy's, they only hang around for so long, and as soon as they realize that their magic isn't working anymore and their low self-esteem and their low energy and nothing's hurting you anymore, they move on because you're of no use to them. So whoever this person is, once you get to a certain stage, you have no use for these people. So why, if they come around, protect yourself, because it seems like these people will be the first ones to steal from you. And like I said, you can't keep it trapped. You can't keep the crops locked up. There's no way of doing it like that. So you need to put more action into the protection, watching it, making sure that, if this is like something on social media or something like that, make sure you watch your comments, watch what people are saying, watch who's adding you, watch the energy, watch, the cycles. Somebody definitely just needs to pay attention to what they're doing, because whatever it is that you're doing, you can lose it. It's not a guarantee. Nothing is a guarantee, right? We have to work really hard at things to get them, and really work hard to keep them around. So this harvest, this isn't a harvest that is going to, you're going to plant the seed today and it's going to be ready to harvest by Sunday. This is something that you plant a seed today, it'll be ready to harvest. I say by November, because now I'm reading this also, the Scorpio energy, and Scorpio season would be ending by mid-November. Okay, so that's a pretty good length of a harvest. That's like 4 or 5 months, 6 months, almost. So that's a pretty good time to get something on the way. 4 months, is it? 4 months, yeah, maybe. So, any cycle, you can't say how long a particular cycle is, but anything with a crop, even with crops, because, there are crops, there are vegetables. Well, if you start germination, though, you got to add germination time in there, because, sometimes people just do the, fruitation, but that's not reality. The reality is the fucking seed doesn't sow itself. That shit takes time, too. So everything that is worth anything takes time to get there. Okay? Takes time to get there. So let's wrap that up. 104.55, baby. I hope these resonate. If they don't, my apologies. There's the Tower and Strength on the bottom of the deck. Booyah! Tower's coming down, baby. Tower comes down. Maybe that's the tower that's blocking the sun, so your crops couldn't grow for so long, Maybe you're sun is going to come out. So if you want to get more personal with this, WhitneyMoonshine@gmail.com. All right, that's how you can get a hold of me. Hello, everybody. Hello. Right, I hope you guys all have a very blessed day. Personal readings are in the link below. If you want to email me, we can get that going. And everybody just have a really great week. All right, good weekend. Thanks for being here. Thanks for liking the video. This was a blast, obviously, and I really hope it does resonate. All right, and if it doesn't, come back. Shoot your questions into the air, and Spirit will do what they can to get all your questions answered. All right. Peace out. Word to you, mothers.